you were starting in, like you said, the 1960s as an interfacer.
Late 1960s.
Okay. And I'm going to assume clear up to today, because you don't lose this skill. And if you're one of 7, every once in a while they got to come knocking on your door.
Well, they check on you from time to time.
Okay. Visitors out there, different communities, they certainly know how to find you, where you are at any given time, and how to, as you say, see what it is you're going through. For example, they could be seeing this going on right now. They could even have said to you, go ahead with this because this is a good thing, right? So in a sense, you're talking about your destiny, meaning it's not about money. It's not even really a job in the formal sense of the word, right? It's a mission, but it's an earthly mission, in a sense, that you have.
Yeah, I would go along with that you're being driven to do something. You don't fully understand it, but it's something you have to do. Mm-hmm. And the other scary aspect about it, you don't know why and you don't know what, but it's coming to an apex. That what you're doing, you're fighting the clock.
Okay, is the clock 2012? Is that the clock you're looking at?
I don't know.
You don't know? And
a lot of people say, gee, if you worked with this, you have all the answers. You don't have all the answers. Mm-hmm. And he who comes up and tells you they have all the answers is not being truthful with you.
Sure.
You don't know what it is. Why would one want to go ahead, be in this field, subject themselves to ridicule? And there are family problems. The situation is my family don't understand this. They've been around enough that they know my wife more so than my kids, but I guess my daughter in Vietnam, we had a daughter we'd been fighting to get out of Vietnam for almost 30 years. Anyhow, when she came over, well, of course she had her own family with her. And when we started talking about UFOs, they all knew about it. They all knew about certain things I was involved in. And it was the government of Vietnam that told them, which kind of shocked me.
Uh-huh.
And right now there is a tremendous interest among a lot of the people in Vietnam about UFOs.
Oh, really?
One of the first things that happened in Vietnam was, and they called me by my proper name. Most people call me Stoney or Cliff. And we shot at these guys. And I was the first one to pull the trigger. And it was, Clifford, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. And I was in the military and we were on a mission. But the strange thing is that, what were they trying to say? That I wasn't supposed to be in the military? Now remember, the military is here on earth, that's man's.
Sure.
Our visitors, what did they plan for me to do?
Well, can you answer your question? I mean...
I have no answers. I have more questions than you have about myself. 2 or 3 times I got out of the UFO field. But you won't tell you a little secret? You can't. There are people out there, and I'm one of them. It's not about money. God, I wish it was. I struggle and he can tell you, every month just to make my bills.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than that. But the hardest thing to do right now is to make people think for themselves and to read. If they think for themselves and they read the documentation that's out there, and I'm referring to the government's own evidence, if they read that,
mm-hmm.
with an open mind, they have to come away and say, there's more to this. Something is going on.
Sure.
Then the only questions left to be answered are these. What's going on? How much does our government know? And when did they know it?
Okay, well, we want to thank you for your courage and for your integrity and for your spiritual development or awareness that makes you able to communicate with these off-worlders at a time when few on the planet are able to do so consciously.
There were times that we were just minutes away from going to a nuclear exchange because of UFO sightings.
Sure.
Thanks to the hotline that was set up, which the American people were truthfully told this was to ensure that there wasn't a nuclear war started by accident due to false returns. And, of course, everybody had war scares. UFOs were a reality. UFOs existed. They were being reported. They were being picked up on radar. Mm-hmm. You had both radar and radar visuals that was taking place. You had fighters trying to intercept them. So in order to reassure one another that we're not doing this, and it should have been commonplace that if we had this technology, or if they had that technology, there was nothing the other side could do anyhow. We had missiles that would be knocked out, not destroyed, but made incapable of firing. Mm-hmm. We had fighter aircraft that would fire on UFOs, and their weapons wouldn't work.
You actually have used some of the parts of humanity that are good parts that are not used by the average man. Is that right?
Well, I hope so.